So, folks, I wanted to address all that happened today. As I sat here in Chicago, I watched many of my colleagues and my friends being detained and arrested in New York City for speaking out and for marching against immigration. For standing with our friend and colleague, Robbie, who has been a voice for many years for immigrant rights, was targeted by our federal government, targeted to send a message that no one is safe. But let it not escape you, because it has not and will not escape me, that on this day, that immigrants were targeted. Our president sat on camera and said the most vile thing against Africa, against Haiti, where he spewed racism and hatred, where he ignored the historical evidence of colonialism and its impact on Haiti and its impact on the continent of Africa and its continued ravaging of black and brown countries. Let it not escape any of us that Trump said the most vile things about black and brown people, about black and brown countries, on the weekend and the memorial of Dr. King's work. Let it not escape you. Haiti and the continent of Africa, my people. And if any of you have traveled, you have, and have traveled there, you have experienced the joy. The joy and the beauty of culture, of music, of food, of faith, of compassion. Haiti and the continent of Africa. Trump said that he prefers white-skinned countries. White-skinned countries. This is heartbreaking. Let we who are Americans feel collective shame over our racist and chief. Let we in America feel collective embarrassment that we brought in a representative of white supremacy, rather than repenting of our misogyny and choosing an experienced woman who has done her work and continues to do her work about her privilege and about racism, whose agency has been committed to walking with many of the black and brown countries that Trump has targeted with racism and with hate. Let we who are Americans sit with our collective shame. This weekend, I will preach. I will preach in Kenosha, Wisconsin. at Bradford Community Church. And then I will make my way to New York to walk with and beside my colleagues, asking for your prayers, but I'm also asking for unity, the sacred work of resistance to the hate of this administration, to show white supremacy that it's going to have to let go of its death grip, and that it's going to have to, and that it will not have the choice but to be buried, but to be buried like Jim Crow. The most vile things came out of this president's mouth today, and I rebuke it. But again, I also ask us to stand in our collective shame, to set with what brought Trump into this White House. Let it also not escape you that Russia's involvement in our election represents the kind of global disdain that is being shown for black people, for black countries, and for LGBT folks. Russia is one of the most violent regimes to people who don't have white skin and green eyes, to people who are queer. Let that not escape us, that a violent regime picked Donald Trump to be the leader of these states, of our beloved USA. Let that not escape